Well, so I said having fun is the most important thing. Now, practicing is very important. Tolerate other people's opinions, other styles. See the beauty in all styles. You know what I mean? Like every style has something beautiful about it. It's not the style that makes the dancer. It's the dancer that makes the style. Never forget that, okay? Now, it says, as a wave master, could you talk about the difference between old school and new school waving? Sure. You know, in the old school, we had a lot of, you know, your basic waves, right? Body waves, right? You had some like waves like that were famous throughout time, like this body wave right here. You go down, 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 open the knees and break down. Waves like that. And in more modern times, we took the waving and, for example, we did many things. Created traces that go in all directions. See? And you can have fun by doing stuff like that, right? Because the hand wave, you see this, which is one of the waving foundations, allows you to take that wave in many directions and flip it around like this. By doing that, boom, bam, boom, you can actually play with it more and guide it from one trace to the other and be perfectly never stopping that wave right there, you see. So in the old school we did that too, you know, but I started in about 1981 flipping it like this. So I was doing stuff like this and then flipping it like that. And then moving it like this, fixing it, walking up to it, moving it back, fixing it, walking up to it, reversing it down, flipping it up. So, and that's about 1981, 82, I was doing that. Then, I think about 83, 84, I started flipping the hand waves like this. So when I would do this, I'd come here. I also did stuff like this. And then in more modern times, what I did, you know, with waves, you know, for my style is I took all that stuff, but then I started putting it around my body. Like I would go around here, put it here, do stuff like that. Go behind the back, wave with my back, turn into it, continue the wave there, right? Throw a wave there, boom, hit this wave here, roll that chest out, come back down, bend down with the wave, let it wave all the way to the ground, stuff like that. Got more intricate, more directions, use more parts of the body, use everything around you. Misdirect the wave. Like you're going to throw a wave here, but all of a sudden it goes here. So they think you're going to go there, but you go there. Small things like that, you know. Shoulder play. Shoulder play is very important in the chest play. But I'll talk to you. If you guys hit me up anytime on the internet, I would love to give you guys a lot of information. I have a video coming out that teaches everything that you need, all the tools that you need to do all the waving that you need so you can figure out waving however you want to figure it out. Okay? And that's the beauty of it. All right, next question. Do you have some suggestions to the wave style for the younger generation? Sure. Experiment and practice. Look, some of my best moves that I made were from the mistakes that I made. Yep. So if you make a mistake in waving, or any style, don't worry about it. It might turn out to be a really cool move. And also, try not to wave like everyone else. If you like someone's wave style and approach, sure, learn it, but then make it yours. Change it just enough So you can actually say, hey, I did something to this too, you know? I didn't just buy it from the store and just play it. I actually bought the, you know, different, you know, parts, and then I put it together myself. Trust me, you're gonna feel a lot better about that. And not only that, but you get to really understand yourself more through the dance when you put more of yourself in the dance, okay? Now, practice means a lot. Remember to practice, okay? And I have people come to me and they say, Wavo, I've been practicing for 2 years and I still don't get it. I still can't get some of this stuff. I don't understand. And I say, okay, 2 years. You know, I never really cared when people tell me how many years they've been doing this, because it doesn't tell the full story. For example, let's say I practice only 1 hour a week, and you practice 5 hours a day. In 1 week, you practiced 35 hours. I practiced 1. So how is my year and your year the same? It's not. So it doesn't really matter when someone says how many years they've been doing this. How many hours of those days, in those weeks, of those months, in that year do you practice? That tells the full story right there. Okay? So practice, practice, practice. Practice everything. Practice all styles. You know what? Try every style. Every style and every approach. And even if it doesn't fit you, if you don't like it, like when you go and you try something and you eat and you're like, nah, I don't like it. And don't eat it again. But at least you tried it and you know what it's like, right? And until we try things for ourselves, we don't know what it's like. But I guarantee you one thing, you try waving, you're gonna love it. All right? Now, in your opinion, which technique is harder and need to put more time to practicing? Every technique gets more difficult as you advance. Okay? Every technique. Because when you start, let's say, learning an arm wave, you break it down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you can make many more, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there, just in that one arm, you see? So everything and every technique can become more difficult because you add more to it. Okay? And the more you add, the more you build, the better you're going to get with it. All right? Okay. Remember, even though techniques some are harder than others, it's not how hard the technique really is. It's how much you put into that technique. Never forget that. What other style you like except wave style? I love all styles. I love all styles. I love touch. Boom, boom, bam, 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 bam. I love it all. You know? I love everything. I love animating. I love it all. Waving's my favorite. Shit, I even love book. I love everything. I love every style there is. Maybe I'm some better in some styles than others. Like, you know, waving is my thing. But that's only because I put so much work into it, you know. I love bone breaking with waving. You know. So, I like to try it all. I'm 45 years old. I started in 1979. And I learned something new every day. The best teacher is always a student. Okay? Now, can you briefly talk about how you make your own style? Well, for me, it was very important that I didn't look like everyone else. And not just for me. In the old school, you could not look like anyone else. If you walked into a circle and you danced just like the next guy, people were like, hey, what are you doing? They would, you know, talk and say, get out of here. So today, people can get away with that more. But back in the days, no. You could not dance like anyone. If you look at all the footage from back then, no OGs or old schoolers look the same. They just don't, okay? We couldn't. But, so because of that, I always had to make my, you know, when I made my own technique, I made it by looking at different things. Not poppers, you see? Yeah, I like watching stuff like poppers. Like I knew Boogaloo Shrimp when I was a kid, and I know a lot of, you know, from this area, and I knew a lot of some of the great poppers. I wasn't famous, you know, like they were, but I got down, and I tell you one thing, at one point I felt like I could be anybody, you know, like 84, 85, really, okay? Now, I made my own style by doing what I wanted to do. No rules, no one else's rules. Forget the rules. This is art. And in art, there's no rules. The only rules in art are the ones you put on your own self. So I have no rules. My rules are easy. It either looks good or it doesn't look good. You know? As simple as that, right? It looks cool or it looks, you know? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. All right? I would look at things for waving, and I would see a snake move. And I would make my hand the head of that snake. But then when my arm would wave back, I noticed this couldn't be the head of the snake, because then only this was moving. So my elbow would turn into the head. So forward, my hand, and it helped me, things like this, help me wave and understand waving even more. I would look at TV, you know, shows where they're underwater and they show the fish swimming. Right? And it give me ideas. So I look at many things for ideas. The octopus in the water. All these things help. Help. Everything should be able to give you some type of inspiration. As long as you see that inspiration there. It's, you know, as long as you can see it, it's there. All right? Now,